Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the No Gimmicks podcast here on the DFPN. We got a good show for you guys lined up tonight. Before we get into the show, let's go out into our sponsors. Shout out to the Plugs Earbuds. Go to www.gettheplugs.com. Enter in code DFPN for a 10% discount. Also, shout out to Fiverr. If you need anything branding-wise, they have freelancers ready to make you logos, videos, websites, whatever you need, go to Fiverr. We'll put that link out in the comments, so y'all go click on it. Tell them DFPN sent you. You'll be good to go. Shout out to the Patreon. Thank you to our newest subscribers for joining the Patreon. We have a plethora of good stuff going on. We just added a $15 tier that it gives you access to another drawing, as well as free merch on the monthly. So please go to www.patreon.com/thatfeelingpodcast. Join for as little as $3, but if you want the good shit, join the $15 tier, I'm telling you. Also, shout out to the Dat Feeling family. Go to datfeeling.bandcamp.com. There's a bunch of new music out there. E. Smitty is gearing up to drop another album, so please make sure you go to datfeeling.bandcamp.com. Subscribe, you get the whole catalog. And finally, shout out to Mac, aka your boy, for dropping another line of merch. We do have another line of No Gimmicks merch, which if you follow the DFPN Patreon, you got an exclusive code to get you a big discount on the new No Gimmick merch. So make sure you go to teespring.com, search for That Feeling Podcast, get yourself some merch. And now, on to my co-host, the fabulous one, D-Truth. How have you been, sir?
Sir, I'm fabulous. As in fabulous, Frankie D. And as of today, we are Royal Rumble bound. So life is just too sweet right now. I have to say that.
Yes, sir.
Too sweet.
Yes, sir. That is correct.
Yep.
We are both Royal Rumble bound. We have discussed options.
Yeah. we discussed options that no one knows about until January.
No one knows. Yes, exactly.
That people won't know about until we get into this
in the venue. Yep.
Exactly.
We have discussed the options.
Yep.
We are ready. We are ready to go. We are ready to go.
Honestly, doing pretty good, man. This is my time of year. This is my season. Got a lot of stuff to talk about today on this show.
Yes, we do.
Kind of took a little, bit of a hiatus. Things happen, but we're back, and tonight we're gonna give a big punch because, dude, there's so much stuff going on. You got the Halloween Ends trailer that dropped yesterday. The final trailer for the movie. We're gonna talk about.
Are you ready? Yeah, we'll talk.
Am I ready?
Are you ready?
Yeah. What are you, DX?
Are you ready?
But no, we're talking about that. We're talking about Malachi Black. Is Malachi Black still with AEW? We're gonna talk about that. Yes. Is Triple H really the savior? I don't think so. So
you don't think so?
No.
Okay, we can talk about it.
Right. So other than that, man, let's get this going here.
While we're at it, if you're watching right now, share this podcast. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe, like that. That way you can get access to everything that we're doing. But if you're watching the show right now, I need you to do me a favor. Come up with your top 5. Your top 5 best wrestling feuds of all time. That is going to be a segment in the show. Give me your top 5. I will give you my top 5. I'm sure D-Truth will give you his top 5.
Right.
And we'll make something out of it. So if you're watching, come up with your top 5 feuds wrestling feuds of all time and put them in the comments.
Dig it.
Dig it. Now, while we're waiting on the crowd to do that, let's talk about something that's been going on in the world of WWE. Not seen on any television show, but has garnered a shit ton of buzz on social media from fans in attendance who have gone to see WWE live. Things happen during the commercial break. There is a thing now, the White Rabbit. And everyone's trying to figure out who this is. It's kind of like the surprise that's not the surprise, because at this point, you probably know who this person is. But who could be the White Rabbit? Before yesterday, I had a ton of theories. After yesterday, I'm dead set on who I think it is.
Well, I think we all know who the White Rabbit is, you know, and I know that at one point Karrion Kross was a White Rabbit. I think he was a White Rabbit in Lucha Underground, I believe.
Right.
So I already took him off the list because he's already on SmackDown. So looking at the when they play the Jefferson Airplane song in the arena, by the way, they play it during the commercial breaks because they don't have to pay royalties.
Yes.
So that's why they
very
play it
smart
during commercial. Very smart. But that's why they have to play it during the commercial breaks. That way they don't have to pay royalties for anything like that. If anybody knows the WWE Network, Peacock, they dub over certain entries musics. Voodoo Child, Jimi Hendrix for Hollywood Hogan, that's been dubbed with the NWO music because it costs a shit ton of money for those royalties.
Yes.
They do it in, you know, movie releases. They got a movie coming out, a re-release coming out for Return of the Living Dead, right? And everybody wanted that song. I forget the name of the song, but it's one song that they can never clear because the band wants too much money to clear the song, so they always replace it. So to make a long story short, with the White Rabbit situation here, if you've been watching the videos and been following what's going on at the arenas, you got the fans with the fireflies going. Every time the end of the song comes up, the whole arena just lights up with red. And that's showing you that's Bray Wyatt, no doubt in my mind. And they already, if you go to WWEshop.com, they already have merch, you know, for the rabbit, the White Rabbit. There's already merch up there.
Yes.
So I think this is actually one of the most compelling things that I've seen in a long time. And I'm like, my God, man, you know, AEW had something like this similar with the House of Black, and they completely botched it and fumbled it. And WWE is going to show you that when it comes to any type of a supernatural type of gimmick or character, they are the benchmark for pulling it off. We saw it for many years with The Undertaker, went on to Kane, then Bray Wyatt, and now that, you know, you actually have somebody in there that will probably let him creatively do what he wants to do instead of being creatively stifled.
Now, question: Do you think that Triple H will give Bray Wyatt the creative freedom to be Bray Wyatt, the Bray Wyatt he wants to be, or whatever character he wants to be?
I think he will, because they know that this is money. You know, that's the thing with when Vince McMahon was there, that Vince wanted to be in control of everything, wanted to micromanage everything. And he micromanaged a lot of shit right into the ground. You know, it was every week, you know, there was repeat matches. Every week it was a rematch. No story to it. Why are these people feuding? Now there's kind of substance to the show. There's a flow to the show now, but all it is to me is you have NXT on the main roster. That's pretty much what it is.
Right. I agree with that. I agree with that. And shout out to Brian McCoy for providing this. We'll read them off when we get to the segment. Thank you for providing that response. But we will see. I don't think Triple H will be as creatively conscious with Bray. You know what I mean? Like, I think there may be a limit there too. Because Bray might go really, really deep with this shit. And it may be
and
too
that's
much.
what you have to do. Well, no, because I mean, listen, you remember when the Undertaker had his run in '99 with the Ministry of Darkness, and a lot of people thought he went too far. A lot of people thought it was too much.
True.
No, it wasn't too much. It was just right. It was, and that's the thing with like when we last saw the Fiend character. Remember the dude that got burned up by Randy Orton, right? And he came back and he had this kick-ass costume he had on. He was burned up and all that. Like, that was another dimension of the character. Then they ruined it by having him come out like nothing happened.
Yeah, this is true.
So hopefully now it's just another facet of the character. And besides, you already know it's why, because the artist who designed the Fiend mask actually had a white rabbit like mask and shit. So it's been on standby. This is something that he's wanted to do for a while.
Yeah, I just think how they're rolling it out is really, really awesome, because they had the QR codes, and if you scan the QR code, it takes you to WWE.com. And then the source code on WWE.com, they had things that would throw you off. So what they had, and what I thought when I saw this, was it was going to be the person that is Malachi Black, Aleister Black. I thought he was coming back. News on that in the next segment, but I thought it was going to be Aleister Black coming back to WWE, because it's the first two lines of his WWE theme song. But in earlier QR codes, they kind of alluded to it being Bray Wyatt, and I think they tried to throw that scent off of it that it was going to be Bray Wyatt. It just didn't work, because they had all kind of coordinates and shit in QR codes that sent you, and there's the pink rabbit somewhere in it's somewhere, but everything led you to Bray Wyatt, and that's why I'm like, it's Bray. He's definitely coming back.
And do you guys remember the WWE did this years ago with the Save Us 222 deal with Chris Jericho, where they were planting codes and all types of stuff in there.
Yes.
And it was leading to his return. So it's fun. And it's nothing, negative or toxic. It's actually fun trying to figure yourself out. And I can only imagine what they're going to do if they're able to obtain the rights to the Jefferson Airplane song that they're playing in the arenas. They're going to do some demonic, devious shit with that song.
Oh man.
It's already creepy with just the vocals.
Yes. And then if he comes out to that, bro.
Yeah.
First of all, the pop is going to be insane. Second, it's going to be the coolest shit you ever saw. Probably.
So the question, honestly, right now that we can talk about is, how much longer do you think they can pull this off? Like, you think they're gonna? I mean, how much longer can they roll with this? I'm thinking that if it is Bray Wyatt, I'm thinking that he has to make his return at the Survivor Series.
I don't think they can go to Survivor Series not doing what they're doing, because eventually the interest is going to trail off. Survivor Series is in November. I don't think they can hold this up until November.
But remember, they're only doing this in the arenas. So the casual person that's watching the show, they don't know what's going on in the arenas. They're playing this in the arenas, and it's only in the arenas. But if you're a casual viewer of Raw, if you have a QR code here, if you're not really looking for this stuff, you're not noticing any change. You are not thinking about Bray Wyatt.
This is true.
Only if you
they haven't mentioned it.
Haven't mentioned anything.
They haven't mentioned it at all.
Nothing. It's just if you're in the arena, It's something that's happening in the arena. If you go to the website, WWE Shop, you see the merchandise up there, but there's been no mention whatsoever of Bray Wyatt. There has been no mention of anybody coming in.
There hasn't even been mention of the White Rabbit.
Nothing. Right? No, nothing
None.
at all. It's just these random QR codes that are like, oh, a QR code will be behind Austin Theory, or somebody in the crowd will be holding up a sign that's a QR code, or just stuff here. Just stuff that only if you're looking for it, you'll notice it. But if you're just a casual viewer of Monday Night Raw or whatever, or SmackDown, you're not going to see this stuff.
This is true. And that's something I didn't think about.
They can keep the story going because it's an arena. It's basically right now, it's an arena attraction.
Yeah.
Because
if they do it this way,
yeah.
If they do it that way, they can make it last that long. If they just throw a hint on TV,
yeah,
they can make it last until Survivor Series.
I think it's Survivor Series. I honestly think they're going to go the route they did with The Undertaker when they debuted him at Survivor Series 1990. I think they're going to go that route. It's going to be the reborn, the rebirth of the Fiend into the White Rabbit. Is what's going to happen.
I agree with that.
Feed your head, man. Feed your head, man.
That's funny because that came up. That came up. That's funny. But the reason why Malachi Black fell through is the next thing we're going to talk about. So Malachi Black recently did a live video on Twitch confirming, basically, I don't know if AEW's ever going to say he's coming back, but in his words, he plans on going back to AEW very, very soon. Thoughts on that?
I mean, the dirt sheets, I guess, got it wrong. The dirt sheets have been saying that, go figure, right? The dirt sheets have been saying that he had a conditional release. I even posted something about that in the No Gimmicks group. And apparently that might not be the case at this point. Now, apparently he's coming back. I mean, I don't understand how you give a guy a conditional release and he's out like a 4 or 5 year contract. So I don't know.
Maybe part of that condition was that he take as long as he need and he come back.
Yeah, I mean, if you got to recharge the batteries, if you're not happy with the booking and recharge, I mean, let's just be honest about this, dude. Ever since the feud with Cody Rhodes, they have just dropped the ball with the House of Black. It's just just with a lot of stuff in AEW. They just dropped. They have just. I mean, I'm good with the Acclaim to being the tag team champions, but how come?
Me too.
How come Proud and Powerful didn't get that opportunity there to be the tag team champions? How come? Private
rumor
Party.
Is they didn't get along. Proud and Powerful. They stopped.
But that's because I think one guy pretty much wants to go, one guy wants to stay. I mean, only person that really knows what's going on with them would be Conan, because Conan's cool with both of them. You know what I mean? So, but I look at Private Party. I mean, the dudes, I've seen them perform several times. At AEW Dynamites, and why they never become the tag team champions, I don't understand that.
Me neither.
Don't get that. So it's just a lot of stuff there. But going back to Malachi, because that's the point of this segment, is that if he is coming back, I hope it's a rejuvenated Malachi Black. And that's the reason why they haven't dropped the House of Black gimmick, I guess, because the dude's not, going anywhere. I mean, rumor has it, they said, Buddy Matthews, the same situation. He was going to be gone. Well, apparently he's just having visa issues right now. He has to go back and take care of his paperwork, and he'll be back as well. People got to understand, these guys are under contract, okay? Contract that they signed, pen to paper. You just can't sit up there and say one day, "Oh, I don't want to do this anymore.
I don't want to be here anymore."
Yeah, no, you got a contract. Because guess what? WWE ain't going to do that shit. They're going to make the time that you're away, they're going to make you work it. They're going to extend your deal. That's what they do. And that's what they need.
You signed the shit.
But
stay here and deal with it.
But you're an independent contractor, right?
Right.
Because if I'm an independent contractor, I could go work for WWE right now, and then I also could work for AEW, and then I can go work for Impact. if I was a true independent contractor.
Yeah, true.
So if you're holding me to this, if you're holding me to this contract, that means I'm an employee, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Pay me.
No, they're getting paid. Speaking of which, what do you think is going to happen with CM Punk? Rumor has it, you know, people are speculating a possible buyout of his contract. I don't see that happening.
I don't see that happening.
Tony Khan realizes that CM Punk is probably his biggest draw that he has. And I think over time, when the investigation's over with, I think that, you know, time heals all wounds. And we'll possibly see CM Punk back in AEW when he's, you know, injury free. Because right now he's injury prone.
Yeah, he's nursing the injury. There was a picture that came out of him. Someone took a picture with him and put it on Twitter. His arm is definitely fucked up. So he'll be out for some time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be out for a while. Because his arm from shoulder to wrist was like he had it braced up from shoulder to wrist, which means he suffered a very significant injury.
And you know what? Who's to say that he didn't have that injury
going into
before he got into that fight? Like when they were doing a media scrum, he probably already knew he was injured. He just said, "Fuck it."
He did. He actually
I already know what I'm gonna do.
He said it in the scrum. He's like, "I'm hurt. I'm tired. Like, fuck this shit.
I gotta work with kids.
I work with children.
Work with children.
Like, he knew he was about to go off, which makes that media scrum even more interesting to me. Because like this dude knew he was about to be on the show for a minute and was like, "I'm sick of you motherfuckers."
So do you think at this point that because of what happened with the media scrum, do you think that Tony is gonna call an audible here when it comes to media scrums at this point?
He has to end them shits, bro. Not one media scrum. I don't think he should either. Not one of them has gone good.
This one went okay, simply because of what happened with Punk, but they didn't follow up on it.
No,
that's the situation.
But you
make an angle out of it.
You can make an angle
out of it.
You could, but at this point, like as soon as he left, obviously there was a fight. So you can't really make good on what happened at the media scrum if they already fighting.
Yeah. One thing we also have to talk about real quick too, because it could be a very big deal. The possibility that Warner Brothers Discovery is going to merge with Universal.
That is a very interesting point. No, I do know about that, and it affected HBO Max in a very big way.
Well, so they're talking right now. Nothing's been done yet. They're talking right now because basically with the Warner Brothers Discovery merger, they're hemorrhaging over there right now.
Yeah,
and that's what happens usually with mergers. So they're kind of they're trying to cut costs anywhere they can cut costs. The Batgirl movie, Batgirl got canceled. They just it's over with, canned it. They're going to probably end up burning the footage, deleting the footage forever. They'll never come out because they're going to, they had to prove to the IRS that this movie will never be profitable. It's a big tax write-off for Warner Bros. Discovery, $90 million tax write-off, pretty much.
Yeah.
So they got that going on, but what I'm getting at here is that so if you have these two big companies come together. And you have one of them has AEW programming, the other one has WWE programming. You combine this. This is going to be a multi-fucking big conglomerate here. Monopoly is what it's going to be.
It is.
How do these two entertainment companies now coexist? If this happens, how can they coexist under the same banner? WWE is like a dog. It's territorial.
They will try. Oh yeah. They will try to kill AEW. The instant that happens.
Not going to happen. But then here's the thing. Warner Brothers can come over and say, no, WWE, screw you. This is our company over here. that we're paying. We like their content, so we have to basically. You don't have to intertwine, but they're going to be on the network as well. So these are all different factors that people have to look at moving forward of what's going to happen here. But also, my man, I don't know if you thought about this or not. What this whole Warner Brothers Discovery Universal merger that could possibly happen. This, if you're a horror fan, this opens up a lot of shit because some of these characters, like the Freddy Kruegers, right, and the Jason Voorhees, they're all under the Warner Brothers banner of New Line Cinema.
Oh shit!
Michael Myers is under the banner of Universal, so you can finally have these. You can finally have these characters if you want. If this merger goes through, finally have these characters intertwined in the movie. If
I want to see Jason versus Michael.
Right.
Give me Jason versus Michael.
Well, I asked Malik Akkad years ago at the 35th convention in Pasadena. I said, could we ever see Michael versus Jason? He says, not likely. We'll ever see those two intertwined. But now, because of the parent companies possibly merging together, we could very well see that because New Line Cinema is under the Warner Brothers banner.
Give it to me.
We could possibly see that.
I've always wondered who would win if those two ever went at each other.
Oh, look.
It's close, man. It's close.
It's close.
It's close.
But here's the thing, though. Michael Myers is human. Jason is a zombie, pretty much.
But yeah, look at how many fucking times they tried to kill Michael Myers, and he don't die.
Yeah, I don't know. I got my two back here. I got Jason and Michael back here in the AEW ring, so that's probably where you'll see it.
All right.
So I don't know.
I'm with it.
But I just thought that was pretty interesting.
No, that's a very interesting nugget you dropped there.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I didn't even think about that. But it affects a lot. Now, if they do this merger, I'm wondering about TV time slots because now you have companies that necessarily didn't compete with each other. Now they're under the same umbrella, and now they may be competing with each other.
I don't think that's I don't see it happening like that because they're
all not necessarily
they're already one parent company.
Not necessarily wrestling wise, unless you just bite the bullet and say, "All right, keep everything the way it is, let it run, let it function." But what if I have a high rated TV show on, say, a Wednesday night, and I have AEW Dynamite also on a Wednesday night in a time slot, and I want to get higher ratings for this other show? I don't necessarily care about the wrestling. Do I move the wrestling time slot?
I don't know. Listen, if this happens, it won't happen till 2024 if it goes down. So our late 23 because they have to get it approved and everything. And besides, Warner Brothers just merged with Discovery. So they're still working the kinks out with that situation. But it's very interesting to think about where the landscape would be in sports entertainment. It's very interesting is like if this had happened back in the day, if something like this happened back in the day, and shit, because back in the day, what WWF Raw was on TNN or Spike TV. Yeah. When they, it was TNN when they bought WWE. So what would have happened? What would have happened if they would have merged? Like it says, Viacom is going to merge here with Time Warner. They're coming together. Shit, would have been WWF and WCW under the same banner.
That would have saved WCW though, because they would have had the funding.
No, it wouldn't have saved WCW.
You don't think so?
No, nothing was going to save WCW. They always wanted to get rid of WCW. It was never going to be there. They always want to get it. And I listened to the Guy Evans Nitro book, and it goes in detail about WCW. They even have Jamie Kellner on there talking about his decision to cancel WCW and why he did it. Yeah, it's a very good book. If you have Audible out there, look up Guy Evans' Nitro book. It's a very, very good listen, especially if you're like at work or whatever, like I do, and you just like listening to books that pass, kill the time. It's a very good listen because this guy went in depth. It's like Eric Bischoff found out shit he didn't even know about it. He was running the damn company.
Nitro by Guy Evans.
Yes, sir.
Guess what? You just made the list.
Yeah. Yeah, because remember, they put out a book years ago, The Death of WCW. And that was that. No, I have that WCW book back here. And then I also have the Audible version. But the Guy Evans book goes in depth about everything WCW, about from all the executives that were there, why things happened, the merger, everything. It goes in depth.
Oh, I see the Death of WCW on here.
That's crap, bro.
The incredible rise and inevitable collapse of Ted Turner's WCW. Damn.
Yeah.
All right, I got to jump on that.
You got to.
I got to jump on that. All right, moving on, man. We talked about AEW. I wanna jump in here. Saraya, whatever you want to call her, she made her AEW debut on the Grand Slam edition of AEW Dynamite last week.
Right.
Immediately, the concern was, is she cleared to wrestle? Now, AEW Dynamite just started. We may get answers on this tonight. Is she cleared to wrestle? But what does that say for the athlete now? Because we've seen a lot of these wrestlers come back from these types of injuries. AE Edge, Stone Cold, Christian. They come back from these types of injuries, and Christian's arguably killing it besides his hurt arm. Edge is killing it. He's kicked it up into a whole new gear. Stone Cold was out there taking bumps on cement on that neck. Like, what does this mean for the athlete now? If she's clear.
I mean, if she's cleared to wrestle, I think that's a good feather in the cap for AEW because they can now they really now have a really good, legitimate women's roster over there. You have the Serena Deebs over there. You have the Britt Bakers over there. You have the Jamie Hayters, okay? You have the Athenas, and you have the Ruby Sohos and all these different females over there that can work. And it's time for them to start working. And Saraya is no difference. When she was Paige, she had a very distinctive look about her that nobody else was doing at the time.
Right.
And I think that's what's missing in the business today is that all the girls kind of look the same. AEW has a lot of females that they don't use. One of them in particular, Abaddon, who has a very unique look and presentation on par with the Fiend. And they don't push her. They don't do anything with her. She's relegated to dark. But yet I see these green girls out there like a Julia Hart that can't even go through a damn table correctly and damn near killed herself. So if
that bump was nasty.
That bump was very nasty.
That was a nasty bump.
Yeah.
Even when it happened, I was like, oh shit. She is hurt.
Yeah, it was horrible.
And she missed the table. She missed the table.
So with Saraya, if she is cleared, Tony Khan's going to save that. And he's going to save it to put it in the right place, the right match. And obviously the match that he wants to do is going to be her versus Britt Baker.
Oh, obviously.
Because in AEW, Britt Baker is his Charlotte Flair. That's his go-to. Okay?
I agree with that.
You bring in somebody else, and now, okay, Saraya has been off for the last few years. Can she still go? If she can go, guess what it's going to be? It's going to be very limited. Saraya is going to pretty much be an attraction at this point. She'll wrestle. If she wrestles, she'll wrestle here and there. Sparingly. It's not going to be every single week. You're going to be doing the Edge, pretty much the Edge. That's why Edge gets away with it, because they use Edge and then they take him off. use them, and then they take them off. That's the way she should be presented in order to protect her health, in my opinion.
I agree. I agree with that wholeheartedly. And if they use her like that and get enough interest invested in her, a lot of these other women will become stars.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's going to... You're not going to do anything with your Hikaru Shidas and all these different people. Sorry.
I like Shida.
That's not working, bro. It's not working.
It's not working, but I do like Shida. I know it's not working, but
that's the old AEW.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for putting us on the map. We got it.
Right. Exactly. And I have nothing against Hikaru Shida. I don't understand her gimmick. I don't get it.
She's just Shida. But is that enough with this climate coming up? You know what I mean? Like, is that enough to say that's Hikaru Shida? She helped run this place when the lights were trying to get maintained. You know what I mean? Like
well, that was Riho too. Remember?
Oh yeah, Riho, the first champion.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I just think, like I said, they have an actual legitimate women's division now, and let's see what they go with it. Okay. That's all I can say with it. If she's cleared, she's cleared. If she's not, it's still star power to AEW.
Gotcha. I got you. I'm with you there. I'm definitely with you there. All right, so main event time. Best wrestling feuds. I was asked this question earlier, and I had 10. I think 10's too much. So I whittled it down to 5. And do you have a list ready or no? Do you have like something in your brain?
I got something in my brain, yeah. Absolutely.
All right. So why are you formulating your top 5? I'm pretty sure I'll give you a reason to hate my top 5.
Okay.
But I will explain why it's my top 5 and why my number 1 is my number 1. So, coming in at number 5, I have The Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin at number 5. The two biggest stars in the WWE, perhaps it's history, perhaps wrestling history, going at it. No 1 and 2. I call it 1 and 1A. But for what it was, one of the greatest rivalries ever. At number 4, I have Sting versus the NWO. Not really Hulk Hogan, but the entire NWO, because let's face it, that's what he was going up against. Didn't utter a word for a single year. Still was over to the moon and back. Dropped from the Raptors in a bunch of places. I didn't like the ending to that feud, but it was a great feud nonetheless. At number 3, Brett versus Owen. Brett versus Owen was... This was right around the time where my fandom was reaching its peak. So I was real heavy on the Hart Foundation. And that when this happened, I was actually mad. I was actually really fucking mad at this. But very good feud ending at WrestleMania. Very great match. Probably one of the best opening matches in WrestleMania history, I would say.
Yeah.
At number 2, Austin versus McMahon. I don't really have to say much about this. This broke the Attitude Era.
Yeah, it did.
This broke the Attitude Era.
I agree.
At number 1, here's what you're going to have the problem with. My all-time top feud. 1, it was short. 2, it was to the point. 3, I was heavily invested in it after a certain promo. And 4, the payoff had me in tears. Eddie Guerrero versus Brock Lesnar.
I remember it. No Way Out 2004.
Yep.
San Francisco, the Cow Palace.
Yep.
I remember.
Short, sweet, perfect ending.
Yeah, I remember.
That's my top 5. Rock versus Austin. Sting versus NWO. Brett versus Owen. Austin versus McMahon. Eddie Guerrero versus Brock Lesnar. I have 2 honorable mentions I do want to throw in here because they could have easily made the top 5. Jake the Snake versus Macho Man Randy Savage.
Uh-huh.
And the 1, 2, 3 Kid versus Razor Ramon.
Yeah, those are some good ones.
They could have been in there easily.
Yeah, those are some good ones. I dig it. I dug it.
What you got?
The most. All right, so I would say my started with number 5 is going to be Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels.
Oh, good one.
And
in my top 10 didn't make the top 5.
And it's a rivalry that people think about, oh, Montreal. No.
Yeah.
I'm talking about going all the way back to when it was the Hart Foundation versus the Rockers. That's how long these dudes have been interacting. You know what I'm saying? So I started with Bret and Shawn, number 5. Number 4, I'm going to go Randy Savage versus Ric Flair.
Oh, that's a great one.
And this was a feud that started in the WWF. Remember WrestleMania 8 at the Hoosier Dome, and Ric Flair was talking that he was, trying to get with Elizabeth, and he was going to have these big pictures put up. It was just, and the doctored pictures of Elizabeth and Rick.
Yep.
Good stuff. Compelling television. Number 3, I'm going to go with Ric Flair versus Sting.
Another great one.
Yeah, because the Clash of Champions match with Sting and Ric Flair is what put Sting on the map. And in WCW always went back to that feud. I remember Halloween Havoc 95, where it was Brian Pillman and Arn Anderson versus Sting and Flair, and then Sting got the babyface push. He's got it going. He gives a hot tag to Flair. Flair comes in. Anderson's like this, no, and Flair just decks Sting, and it's the Horseman all over again. So that right there was good shit, man.
The very last match in Nitro history is Sting versus Ric Flair.
Absolutely, and it was also one of the very first matches on Nitro when it started. The very first episode of Mall of America. Number 2, I gotta go Hulk Hogan, Macho Man Randy Savage.
Another good one.
Yeah, gotta go there.
Breakdown of the Mega Powers.
The breakdown of the Mega Powers. You got lust for Elizabeth. All of that.
I see you looking at her. I see you looking at her.
So you got over there, you got that going on over there. Then you fast forward to WCW when they came back together, the Mega Powers came back together, and then Hogan turned his heel. Hollywood, this time the roles are reversed. Then they start the feud all over again when they're both in WO. That's a feud that never died. It was just entertaining television. That was good stuff. And my number 1 all-time favorite feud in the business is going to be Austin versus McMahon.
It's got to be in everybody's top 5.
Yeah, because that was strictly built off of promos alone.
Yes,
and nobody knew that Vince McMahon could be the biggest heel in the business, and that's what he was. So I enjoyed it. Honorable mentions for me. I have got to go. I got to go with DX versus the Nation.
That is in my top 10.
Yeah, got to go with that feud. That was pretty cool. Shit, 98. I also got to put an honorable mention here for Undertaker and Mankind. That feud there, and
which one? The one that ended with the Hell in a Cell.
No, I'm talking about the first couple matches they had that was leading up to the Ballroom Brawl.
Okay.
So I enjoyed that, and another honorable mention, and people are gonna be like, what? No, it's these were pretty good matches because the way they were laid out. It's two. I have two honorable mentions there. It's with the same guy. I'm gonna go Macho Man, Ultimate Warrior, and then Ravishing Rick Rude, Ultimate Warrior. One of the best.
That Ultimate Warrior one. That Ultimate Warrior one is so underrated.
It is. It's the retirement. I was there. Underrated. I saw it. Yeah, it just you knew. Damn it! How could I forget this feud? Another honorable mention. How can I forget this? Diamond Dallas Page versus the Macho Man, WCW.
Oh,
the feud that put DDP on the map.
DDP talks about this all the time. Is that making him? Yeah,
it was the one that made him. So, and I watched all this stuff on the network all the time, dude. Just it was just good shit. So we can do a whole podcast just talking about these matches. Another honorable mention, Ric Flair, Barry Windham. That feud.
I got one in my top 10.
Yeah.
The Midnight Express versus the Rock and Roll Express.
I got another one for you. The Von Erichs versus the Freebirds. WCCW.
Oh.
You talk about heat.
I didn't even think about that one.
You talk about heats, bruh.
But they wanted to kill
the Freebirds. Yeah, exactly. The people in the sport
literally
wanted to see them die.
To kill them. Yes.
You go back and watch that stuff now, dude. It's just crazy.
In the stadium when they came out to the Freebird song, bro, like there was legit concern of death that night. Like legitimate. That's how you know you have heat. I wonder how that shit feels to be like, I am doing my job so well. These people literally want to kill me.
Ask Jim Cornette. he talks all the time about having to carry some type of weapon on him.
I bet he does.
It would get that crazy. But also another honorable mention, real quick. This one comes from the land of extreme, the original ECW. Raven, Tommy Dreamer.
Raven, Tommy Dreamer was talked about today. Yes, Raven, Tommy Dreamer, Sabu and Taz.
Sabu, Taz, Sandman, and Tommy Dreamer.
Sandman and Tommy Dreamer was one of the most violent fucking feuds I've ever seen.
Absolutely. Yes.
The lose, you get caned. So not only did you get your ass whooped in the ring, you literally about to get your ass whooped.
Thank you, sir. Can I have another?
Yes.
Oh, underrated. Can't forget Jerry the King Lawler versus ECW.
Oh yeah. It didn't
Jerry the King Lawler. They showed up at the ECW arena. He hit because remember Jerry Lawler had caned Tommy Dreamer in his balls, and they swelled up. So he was actually hurt. He was hurt. So Cornette was in there trying to get heat, and Cornette looked at his Dreamer like, "Oh shit, he's really hurt."
So Brian McCoy says, thank you, Brian. He says, I kind of fell off during the John Cena era. Did he have any rivals? Actually, one of the better rivals during that time period was him and Edge.
Him and Edge.
Or him and Randy Orton. Him and Randy Orton had a good feud.
Him and CM Punk.
Yeah, him and CM Punk. That was an excellent feud.
The Rock.
CM Punk versus John Cena, bro. I've never seen a crowd act like that.
Yeah,
crowd when Cena when he walked out, it was just like the
Money in the Bank, right?
huh?
Yeah,
Money in the Bank 2011. Yeah.
Yeah.
The boos that filled that arena when he walked out, like not even when he walked out, when the music played.
Yeah.
It was like, boo! I was like, holy shit. Even the person on I forget who was on commentary. Was it Lawler? Lawler was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Because it caught everybody off guard. Like Chicago went insane.
No, he knew it. And Cena, when Cena came out there, he had the belt up, and he was walking just like he knew what it was, a hostile crowd.
Yeah, I'm in the Lions Den tonight.
And if you want to talk about hostile crowds, right quick, do we not forget ECW One Night Stand 2, Rob Van Dam versus John Cena? How hostile that crowd was that night?
Yes. Yes.
Do you forget how hostile crowd Bash in the Beach 96 when Hogan turned?
Oh my God.
The dude jumped over the barricade and Hall and Nash stomped his ass out.
My God.
Fun times. Fun times.
We got to do a show on the most hostile crowds.
We got to do a show on the most hostile crowds, but also got to do a show on them, just feuds in general. Because like we obviously with this segment, we can't just say 5, bro. There's just been too many.
I had
too
10.
many. Yeah, too many feuds that have gone on. Just like too many great things have happened. I mean, hell, Lex Luger, Ric Flair back in the day. I saw the match where people wanted to see Luger beat Flair for the World Championship, and he didn't get it done, and they were pissed off. They were chanting in the Baltimore arena. They were chanting bullshit, because they wanted him to win. That's how hot Luger was.
Yes. There's so many great feuds, man.
Yeah,
so many, many. But yeah, good top 5, man. That was a damn good. So Savage and Flair is in my top 10. Flair versus Sting is in my top 10. Sting versus Vader is in my top 10.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. White Castle of Fear match, Super Brawl.
Yeah. Sting versus Vader. I think that was the feud that got me hooked, honestly.
Well, shit, man. We're forgetting one. What about the American Dream?
Oh, somebody said
Dusty.
Somebody
Dusty
said
versus Flair.
Dusty versus Flair. Who put
Dusty
that?
versus the Horseman.
Dusty Rhodes versus Arn Anderson, or Jimmy Snuka versus Jake the Snake.
Yeah,
that was a good one. Jimmy Snuka versus Roddy Piper.
Yeah. That
Piper Hogan.
Yeah, Piper. Yeah, I forgot about Piper Hogan. Yeah,
Piper Hogan.
Shit. Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, in WCW and in WWE.
Oh yeah, both of those excellent matches, especially the one in WCW.
Brock Lesnar, Goldberg, the second time around.
Yeah, great one.
Goldberg, Kevin Nash.
Yeah, I'll give you that one. The shocker.
Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Vader.
Darth. Oh, now you're just going off the rails. But that is an excellent feud. That's an excellent feud. All right. Since you mentioned movies, let's move into movies with our final segment. The Halloween Ends trailer. Final trailer just dropped.
If we had been prepared, we could actually play the trailer right here.
We probably could have.
Yeah.
We probably could have.
But go ahead, sir. What about it? I saw it.
I think there's going to be a huge death. And not the death you're thinking.
I think that there is a copycat.
You think so?
Yes, sir. I think there's a copycat. Michael Myers. I believe that. But the real question, and I got somebody right here that wants to pipe in right quick. He wants to know, hey, bitch, how come there's no movies about me?
I try to keep a straight face. I try.
Where's my movie at? Come on, where's my movie at, bitch?
Sorry, Mr. Kruger. The budget doesn't allow for you to be in the movie. You will be duly compensated for your contributions to the movie industry one day. Today is not the day. So come back when we have the coins to pay you.
You're full of shit. Where's my damn movie? Huh?
My advice to you, Mr. Kruger, is go when one of these directors go to sleep, you negotiate. In only the way you know how. But
it looks pretty good.
It does look good. Now, is this one going to be? Is this exclusively in movie theaters?
No, this is going to be in movie theaters and on Peacock.
Okay, so just like the last one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I have no problem with that. I would actually prefer it. I want to watch it at my house. Because here's the thing. I don't have to worry about some jack-off that doesn't know how to shut up talking in the back. Or spending all this money on popcorn and all type of shit when I can have all my snacks here and don't have to worry about none of it.
Yeah.
So I'm all good with it. People are like, oh, come on, buddy. Support the movie and go see it at the movie. I can do what I want.
They put it on Peacock. Guess what? We're watching it.
That's right, on Peacock. You want to go to the movie theater? You want to go to the theater? Go ahead and do it. But I can watch it any way I want to. There's people that are going to watch it in theater and they're going to come home the same day and watch it on Peacock.
Yep. Pay for the network. Watch the Michael Myers.
Exactly. So I think that this is going to be a very interesting tale. I think that that there's a copycat on the loose, and I think all will be revealed in Halloween Ends. I do think we're going to see the end of poor Laurie Strode.
I think so too.
I think we're going to finally see the end of this situation. It's a confusing timeline to some people. Like, they think, oh my God, they're brother and sister. Not in this timeline. They're not.
Yes.
So I tell people all the time. Yeah.
Khan asked me this the other day. Why does he want to kill her that bad? Is that his sister? I was like, no, not in this timeline. Then I have to explain.
He doesn't give a shit about Laurie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He don't care about Laurie Strode. Laurie Strode is obsessed with him. He doesn't remember Laurie Strode. He just, if he does catch her, it's like, oh, this is bitch I tried to kill back in 1978. That's it.
Right.
He doesn't care about Laurie.
Brian says he kind of didn't like the last Halloween. Not saying it was bad, just hope they ended good.
No, bro, I'm gonna tell you, Brian, I'm with you on that. The part of the movie that always sucks to me is that evil must die shit.
Yes.
That was some corny cornball shit. I did not like that at all. That was stupid. Hopefully there's some better writing this time with this movie. So yeah, there were certain parts, like if I'm watching it, I usually fast forward through the corny scenes to get to what I want to see. Which I want to see the boyfriend get killed, and when Allison's like, "Come on, that shit, motherfucker!"
That shit was gruesome.
Yeah, he got the worst.
Oh yeah,
the boyfriend got the worst.
Oh, bitch, you trying to get out the window? Hold up.
Yeah, I don't know what I don't know what Michael had. Michael had against him, but I tell people, man, look, Michael Myers in that one scene when the mob is there and they're trying to get him, bro. This dude is getting shot, and his ass is getting right back up. I would think at this point,
leave him the fuck alone. Yeah, leave him the fuck
out
alone.
of Dodge, bro.
You hit him with buckshots, bro, and he just like, well, guess you better get the running. Run, motherfucker, run.
But in the trailer, it was also brought up that Michael for the last 4 years, it's a time jump between kills and this one. So for the last 4 years, Michael's been living in the sewer, hiding out pretty much. And if you look at it like that, it kind of reminds me of Halloween Resurrection.
Yeah.
Remember when he killed Laurie in the beginning and then he went and lived under the catacombs of his house?
Yep.
is where he was at. So they're taking obviously Easter eggs from other films and doing some type of fan service here with this movie. But listen, we'll have to come up here when after we've seen the movie. We'll do a review of it, an honest review, because that's what we do here on No Gimmicks. We keep 1,000.
Yep.
And we'll say what it is. But right as of right now, I'm very excited about the movie. Can't wait to see it this year for Halloween. I am dressing up as usual, and it will be the Halloween Ends Michael Myers.
All right.
So that's going to be fabulous. Mr. Kruger, what are you doing for Halloween? Not a damn thing, bitch.
Sorry. Creative has nothing for you.
Exactly. Fucking molester.
Oh man. Final thoughts. What you got?
Final thoughts. In-N-Out is better than Whataburger.
Don't tell anybody I said this. Okay? Please. I prefer neither.
That's on you.
Give me Freddy's. Freddy's.
I had this discussion this morning with some coworkers, and I was like, "Yeah, do you like? I mean, Whataburger's cool, but I prefer In-N-Out." So,
Freddy's. If you want my money, take me to Freddy's. Freddy's kills both of them.
Oh, Freddy kills, huh? Both of them, huh?
Yeah, Freddy. Yeah, word to Kruger.
Yeah,
it kills both of them.
Yeah, I should open a burger joint called Kruger's.
You should.
Yeah, we'll see.
Freddy's
when I hit that big lottery.
Yeah, Kruger's.
But other than that, dude, I have nothing. I have nothing left for this occasion. This has been a very fun podcast here at the No Gimmicks.
Yes,
it's been very good discussion here, and only thing we can do is you like the podcast, like, share, subscribe, let people know what's going on with the No Gimmicks. We are the only podcast that keeps it 1,000 at all times. We're the only ones that tell the truth, whether you like it or not. We tell the truth.
Yes.
So
he is correct.
That's all I got. And another thing is, if you want to control the pet population, have your pets spayed or neutered. We have a lot of animals out there that are just roaming the streets right now for no reason, because we go to the pound and we it's a nice little puppy. Well, he's nice and so little, and he's just so beautiful and blah 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 blah. But then he gets older, you don't want them motherfucker anymore. You want to get rid of him. So the way to prevent that from happening, either don't get the animal or have your animals spayed and neutered. You feel what I'm saying? That's how you do it.
We support this message. This message.
No, it really pisses me off, dude. It really irritates me, because people do that shit. People will literally get an animal, get a dog, and if they get bored with it or whatever, they just want to dump it in the damn desert or something, and then that's it.
Yeah,
just leave it out there to fend for itself. I don't agree with that.
I don't either. So yes.
So help control the pet population. Have your pet spayed or neutered, and if you don't want the animal, don't get the animal. The animal is eventually going to grow from being a puppy. It's going to get bigger, okay? And don't get rid of it because it gets bigger.
Agreed.
That's all I got to say about that.
Cruel bastards.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, man. So you got nothing. The only thing I got is make sure you guys share, subscribe, and come over to the Patreon, because it's way more fun there. But other than that, that's all I got. So until next time, y'all be easy. Thank you for tuning in to the No Gimmicks podcast here on DFPN. Peace.